Welcome. We are back on day 2 of Win High Value Clients Challenge. These are just short, quick sound bites, giving you a little step each day to be able to focus on, to have more insights about who your high value clients are. That way you're intentional about who you're working with, and it puts you squarely, solidly on your path to having a dream firm. We are meeting each day this week between now and Friday at 12 noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Well,
so, yeah, go ahead, Steve.
We'd love to know who's here. So go ahead and please take a moment and introduce yourself in the comments and tell us where you're from. That would be wonderful.
Yesterday, we actually talked about the difference between low and high value clients. If you didn't catch the training, we shared an insight about your ideal clients, and I will go ahead and put the link in the chat. But also we asked you to list 3 qualities of non-ideal clients and 3 qualities of high value clients. If you want, go ahead and post in the comments what it is that you saw as far as the difference between the low value and the high value clients. And before I move on, we do have some people sharing that said that low value clients are concerned about price, not concerned with planning, one-off orphan clients. And the high value is, it's not just about price for them. They talk, they engage in planning. They are not just about the compliance. Kim was saying low value is don't use technology. They're uptight, easily offended, does not value doing things the right way, quote unquote. And then 3 characteristics of those high value clients is know how important setting up and running the business the right way, compliant, good sense of humor, love that, does not micromanage and treat her like an employee. So that is some of the things that came up. If you want to share what are some qualities of your low value clients and qualities of your high value clients, please go ahead and put that in the chat as well.
Well, yesterday we did a quick overview, and we're going to do that again today, of what we plan to cover in the next few days, 4 days. So today we're taking a deep dive into how to differentiate yourself, even if you don't have a niche.
Tomorrow is client attraction messaging, which attracts high value clients to you.
Thursday, we'll show you how and why you want to stop selling your services. This is a must if you don't enjoy the sales part.
And Friday, we wrap up the challenge with the formula to figure the value of your clients if you wonder about your fees. This formula answers your questions.
And by the way, if you do have a niche, let us know in the comments, and we're going to be talking more about niches or niches today.
And actually, I'm going to get us, Steve, hold on. I'm going to get us live on Facebook as well.
Oh, that would be great.
So that way we'll...
And Kim says she's from Finger Lakes area, New York. Great.
Perfect. Okay, we are good to go over there. So thanks for that.
Great. And when you have a question, please go ahead and post those in the comments, and so I can get those questions over to Loren so we can have those questions answered for you. So Loren, many accounting professionals start out as generalists. They work with a large variety of clients. How does this affect their practice?
Well, there's a couple things, but one of the things, and if anybody wants to put that in the comments also as to what you see as the difference between generalists versus specialists, please go ahead and add. I'm always growing my list. But basically, some of the things that I see is generalists, first of all, charge less than specialists can. You sometimes believe you need to work with everybody who's willing to pay your fees. It makes marketing actually more difficult because you're trying to appeal to everybody instead of a select population. It keeps you price competitive, which means that you end up with some price sensitive clients because you're focusing on the technical things of what you do, where they see you as a commodity as opposed to moving forward and really highlighting your expertise. And as a result of that, you end up with those low value clients who are costly emotionally as well as financially. And I want to say with that, sometimes it is your largest client who is actually a low value client. They might be your highest paying client, but the headaches, the extra demands, the little nuances of what they expect is sometimes draining and not as profitable as it ought to be.
And one more thing about that is that they tend to be jack of all trades, but an expert at none. I love that. So what interferes with someone narrowing their focus and on what they do and who they serve?
Well, most of what interferes is usually ourselves. I believe that a lot of times we are the bottleneck to our own success in so many different ways. We are finding that committing to a particular choice or segment can be one of the biggest challenges. I know it was a challenge for me also. It took me probably 9 years or so before I squarely planted my flag in the accounting space and community because it was a process. I started out with everybody and then narrowed it down. But some of the things that come up is, will I eventually get bored? What if I choose the wrong niche? I can serve other markets. They might, and that those people might not realize that I can help them too. Will my credentials get challenged because I don't have enough experience with that particular population to call myself an expert? Another accounting firm already serves that niche. Is there enough for both of us? So those are some of the things that come up. If you know of others, please add them into the comments section too.
Well, Loren, if accounting professionals no longer want to work with everyone, what are their options?
Well, there's a couple ways that you can go. You can have a niche, a specialty, or a combination of both. A niche is primarily who you serve. Is it an industry? Is it a particular type of personality that you're looking to work with? So that's where you're looking for who the people are that you are going to primarily be serving. For me, it is accounting professionals. Specialty is what you do. So do you maybe do a particular thing that you love to do or that you are better at than most other people? You have the expertise, the insights to solve a particular problem, remove a challenge, help a client move forward. For example, it could be tax resolution. Maybe you are great at forecasting or tracking KPIs for fast growth companies. So think about those specialties of what you do that most other people don't do. For me, it is really about pricing your services in order to earn more without feeling like a slave to your business, so you get back your free time. So once again, you can have a niche, which is who you serve, the specialty, which is what you do, or a combination of both. The other thing I also want to say is sometimes a niche or a specialty chooses you, and then there's other times where you choose it. It can go either way.
Well, Loren, Intuit's research shows that 64% of your clients actually come from referrals.
Right. That is true for most of us, is that as you continue to be in your firm longer, you start working with people, they tell other people about who you are, what you do. So it might be that as a result of that, you start moving in a specific industry or solving a particular client, because people know people who are just like them. But beware, if you are price competitive and have really low rates and your people are ones who want to get as much from you as possible for as little as possible, they know other people just like that. And then you fill your firm with low value clients. So that is something to be very, very intentional about. But I actually share the exact steps, which we don't have enough time to go into today, about how to enroll clients into your firm who really respect you, who are not price sensitive, and who are eager to get started with you. I do that during the Raise Your Rates formula course, and that course starts May 31st. But the thing to look at is, what is the initial first impression that you're giving? And that starts probably even before we go into the initial consult. But that first meeting with you leaves an impression. people are going to either see you as an expert or as a consultant based on how you conduct that consult. And that is something we're going to talk about even more on Thursday during the challenge right here.
Well, I know that accounting professionals that are out there and who are joining us, they're ready, but they're really unsure how to start. How do you choose a niche or specialty?
Mm-hmm. And I would once again love to hear in the comments about you, and do you have a niche or a specialty, what it is, or go ahead and share a little bit more about how you ended up with that particular niche or specialty. Would love to find out more about you and who's here, because you don't know who else might be the perfect connection that's showing up today as well. So please go ahead and share. But something to think about with moving that direction of a niche or a specialty is going ahead and opening up an Excel spreadsheet, getting out your yellow legal pad, and list all of your clients' top specific problems when they first come to you. What are the things that your clients are challenged with, that they're complaining about, that happen that they can't solve themselves regarding their financials or their taxes? And really just list it all out. Just put that brain dump on that sheet or your yellow legal pad. And then out of all those things that they're complaining about, that they're challenged about, where they're feeling stuck, not able to move forward, which of those things do you happen to solve? Once you are able to answer that question, then you want to think about what is possible for your clients once you've solved that problem. That's an advanced level move. That's an insight. That's something that really is of high value to them, is being able to understand once you solve their challenge where they're stuck, what's possible for them. And then the other thing to look at is it's like laundry. As soon as you do one load, you know that someone's throwing their dirty socks into the hamper and starting the next load. So as soon as you solve this one challenge for them regarding their financials or their taxes, what is the new problem that arises for them? And then think about what is the solution to that next problem that they have also. So this goes into what I call the PSPS model. They come to you with a particular problem, you solve that, but as soon as you solve that, they have a new challenge regarding their financials or their taxes, and then you want to be able to solve that for them also, or at least have insights as to what that next thing is that they're going to be wanting to have help with. And let me give you an idea as to how this works. As you know, the problem I solve for accounting professionals, and I realize, is that you are hard workers. You work too many hours, typically, especially if you're doing taxes, and you find yourself sacrificing your personal life in order to make more money. You have a lot of times what I call an upper limit challenge. And the upper limit challenge is where your revenues are tied to your time. When you're maxed out on your time, you're maxed out on your earning potential also. The other thing is that a lot of times you have a high tolerance level. You either keep your rates where they are for too long because you're afraid of losing clients, or you hold on to those headache clients for too long because you feel that you need the income. But having that high tolerance level to avoid that conflict eventually wears you down over time. So you know you want to change, but you're not sure how. This was true for one of my clients, Linda, as well, where she found her accounting firm was running her instead of her running her firm. What we did is we worked closely together to increase her income, be able to release some of those low value headache clients and replace them with high value clients, and also regain her personal time. By doing that, she was able to replace her burnout with enthusiasm. She no longer tolerated clients who did not appreciate and respect her, or those clients who actually were good for her to work with, but they treated her team less than, they didn't treat her team with respect. And her team was stressed out whenever they had to work with that particular client. So she was able to let them go. But the other thing is her revenues grew and her self-care improved as well. By putting these things in place, she was able to buy her first house. She paid off her card, and she was able to eliminate all of her credit card debt. But the thing is, Once we fixed those problems, Linda had a new one. So this is an example of the problem solution money. Once we were able to get rid of all those things that she was tolerating, her new problem was that she was still working too many hours in her business, especially during tax season. Now, she did build a team, but she needed to delegate better. So we started working on how to be able to delegate some tasks off of her workload. And as a result, she was able to focus more on her business, whether it was business development and bringing in new clients, but also on the consulting piece, which was the things that only she could do in her practice. So we focused more on her, not only getting rid of those things that she tolerated, but working more on her business than in her business. So that solution focused on transitioning her from a technician to a CEO while increasing her revenues.
Well, Loren, I know that we've got some messages coming through on the chat. Do you want to kind of go through some of those? I know that Kim was saying that she was having a hard time seeing you, but she could see me. So I don't know what you have a suggestion.
It might be the view in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, and you can adjust the view.
Oh, speaker or gallery. Yes.
Yep. So
Okay.
that might be something to look at.
Great, great. Well, I'm going to move on to the challenge part if we're ready for that.
One of the things that Beth asked is where you find high value clients.
Yes.
Believe what you want to really think about more is, once again, those qualities of your clients. Who are they? What are the problems? Once you know who they are, whether it's personality wise or maybe a particular industry or niche that you want to work with, then you want to think about, where do they hang out? Where do they go for information? And start going to where they hang out instead of having them find you. So that is something to think about. And Leslie said ditto to Kim's thing as well, is after onboarding and completing a complete 2021 retail client, I've learned I hate retail. Have to edit my engagement contract to address every issue I've had with this client. That was a PETA client. So sometimes you learn by a process of elimination. You get a client, you realize that there's some things about them that you don't like, whether it's personality or you don't like that particular industry. I found that also there were certain industries that just weren't a good fit for me. One is real estate. I don't work well with realtors. The other thing is people in the MLM. They have a different business model than what I'm familiar with. So they weren't a good fit for me also. So once again, it was about working with a lot of different clients and that process of elimination. So I will also say, though, is the clients that you hate working with are somebody else's ideal dream client. And that if you hate retail, Kim, there might be someone who absolutely loves it. And that might be a referral partnership for you also, is figuring out who those referrals are. But Beth, that's something to think about with your question also, of where do you find that high value client? Is who is it that also works with the same type of clients as you do, and see if you can do some cross referrals because you have complementary services. So that is something to think about as well, is referral partnerships with other professionals.
Well, let's get to the challenge part. Yep. So based on what we discussed today, what challenge step do you want everyone to take between now and tomorrow?
Well, the first thing is, if you have any feedback, if you are having any questions come up that I haven't answered, please let us know, either responding to one of our emails or in the chat. And if there was any takeaway or insight from what we talked about today, please share that as well. I absolutely want to be able to serve you to the best that I possibly can. But I just want to say there's three things I want you to think about for today. Is, first of all, what are you drawn to? Is it that you want to be a generalist? You want to have a particular niche or population that you serve? Maybe you want to have a specialty of actually solving a particular problem, or you can have a combination of niche and specialist. So which one are you drawn to? That's the first thing. And then number two is, think about the particular problem that you solve for your client. What is that specific problem that you tend to solve for your clients? Either ones that you love to solve or that they come to you with. And then out of all those problems, so I got ahead of myself. So the second thing was to think about all the problems your clients have when they come to you. So some of the things that they have, you actually do, and some of the things that they have as far as problems you don't do. For an example, not everybody does payroll. And so that might actually be one of their problems is payroll. It could be HR. So think about all the challenges that they have. And then out of those challenges, which are the ones that you solve? So those are the three things to think about. Are you drawn to being a generalist, niche, specialist, or combination of niche and specialist? What are all the challenges that your clients have when they are first reaching out to you, the ones that you do, as well as the ones that you don't do, and out of those, which are the ones that you do solve? So I think that that is pretty much it as far as the things to think about today.
Great. Well, mark your calendar to join us each day this week from Friday, from here till Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific time.
And tomorrow we go into day 3, right in the middle of the Win High Value Clients Challenge. And that's where we're talking about client attraction messaging to attract those high value clients to you. So the question started to come up today of how do you get those clients? Tomorrow we go into the messaging so that it's like speaking their love language and it attracts them to you, because what you say will either attract those low value clients to you or the high value clients.
And
Anyway,
Kim was asking, Kim was asking about whether this is going to be posted in the group.
I can just do that right now, is post those 3 questions there so that you can go ahead and grab them. So here you go. Those are the 3 questions. And I just want to say, I really appreciate you taking time away from working in your business, showing up here. This is an advanced move, working on your business. Just take one insight, one action tip, something that you can really resonate with, that you know that's going to move you forward and raise the bar as far as the level of services and the quality of clients that you work with. Thank you so much for showing up. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.